Hi friends, good morning. Welcome to SQL Master YouTube channel. So today we are going to learn about the regression testing in depth. So what is regression testing? Why we need regression testing? How to perform regression testing? All these things are covering here in this video with practical scenario concepts. Okay. So if you're not subscribed to SQL Master YouTube channel, kindly subscribe to SQL Master so that you will get the videos regarding ETL testing. So without wasting time, let's get started here. So these are the things what I made prepared for you people. So one by one we will go through this. So what is regression testing? Definition, tools, method and example I am covering here in this video. So what is regression testing then? Regression testing is a type of testing that is done to verify that code change in the software does not impact the existing functionality of the product. So this is to ensure that the product works fine with new functionality, bug fixes or any changes to the existing feature. Previously executed test cases are re-executed in order to verify the impact of the change. So regression testing is a software testing type in which test cases are re-executed in order to check whether the previous functionality of application is working fine and the new changes have not introduced in any new bugs. Okay, so regression testing can be performed on a new build when there is a significant change in the original functionality, that too even in a single bug fix. Regression means retesting the unchanged parts of the application. So here the regression test overview. So regression test is like a verification method. Test cases are generally automated as test cases are required to be executed again and again, or running the same test cases again and again manually is a time consuming and tedious one too. For example, so consider the product X in which one of the functionality is to trigger confirmation, acceptance and dispatch emails when the confirm, accept and dispatch buttons are clicked. Some issues some issues will occur in the confirmation email, and in the order to fix the same, some code changes are made. In this case, not only the confirmation emails need to be tested, but acceptance and dispatch emails also need to be tested to ensure that the change in code has not affected them. So this is one example. I hope you understood why what is the regression testing now. So regression testing is not dependent on any programming language like Java, C++, or C hash, etc. This is a testing method which is used to test the product for modifications or for any updates being done. It verifies that any modification in a product does not affect the existing modules of the product. So verify that the bug is fixed and the newly added features have not created any problem in the previous working version of the softwares. The testers perform functional testing when a new build is available for verification. The intent of this test is to verify the changes made in the existing functionality and the newly added functionality as well. So when this test is done, the tester should verify whether the existing functionality is working as expected and the new changes have not introduced any defect in the functionality that was working before this change. So when to perform this test? So regression testing is usually performed after verification of changes or new functionality, but this is not always the case. For the release that taking months to be complete, regression tests must be incorporated in a daily test cycle. For weekly releases, regression tests can be performed when functional testing is over for the changes. Regression testing is a variation of retest, which is simply to repeat the test. When retesting, the reason can be anything. Say you were testing a particular feature and it was the end of the day. who could not finish the testing and had to stop the process without deciding if the test is passed or failed. The next day when you come back, you perform the test once more. That means you are repeating the test you performed before. The simple act of repeating test is retest. The regression test at its core is a retest of sorts. It is only for the special occasion that is something in the application or code has changed. It might be code, design, or anything at all dictates overall the framework of the system. A retest that is conducted in the situation to make sure that the said change is not has not made an impact on anything that was already working before is called regression testing. So the most common reason why this might conducted because new versions of the code have been created, increased in scope or requirement, or bugs have been fixed. So can regression testing be performed manually? So I was just teaching one of these days in my class, like question came to me, can regression be done manually? I answered the questions for this. We moved on in the class, everything seems to okay, but somehow the question nagged me for quite a while later. Like means over a many batches, this question comes multiple times in various different ways. So some of them are like, do we need tool to perform test execution? How is regression testing performed? Even after an entire round of testing, newcomers find it difficult to discern what exactly the regression test is. So of course, the original question, can this testing be performed manually? To begin with this one, the test execution is a simple act of using the test cases, performing those steps on AUT, supplying the test data, comparing the result obtained on AUT with the expected result mentioned in your test cases. Depending on the comparison result, we test the status of the test case, pass fail. Okay, so test execution is simple as that. There are no special tools necessary for this process. So automated regression testing tools. So we can perform the regression testing by using automated tools also. So some of the tools I discussed here. So automated regression test is a testing area where we can automate most of the testing efforts. So we run all the previously executed test cases on a new build. So this means that we have test case set available, and running these test cases manually is the time consuming. We know expected results, so automating these test cases is some time saving and is an efficient regression test method. The extent of automation depends upon the number of test cases that are going to remain applicable over time. So if test cases vary from time to time, the application scope goes on increasing, and then automation of regression procedure will be waste of time. So most of the regression testing tools are record and playback types. Like you can record the test cases by navigating through AUT, application under test, and verify whether the expected results are coming out. So I am discussed here a few of the testing tools. Like first one is Evo Azure. Evo Azure is a 100% no-code heterogeneous test automation solution that make regression testing simpler and faster. So in interview, may interviewer ask you, okay, what are the different types of automated testing tools for regression testing? So you could answer like this. So it cross multi-platform compatibility enables you to test across the web, mobile, desktop, mainframe, ERPs, associated emulators, and more. With Evo Azure, you can run end-to-end regression tests without writing a single line of code and ensure rapid, high-quality delivery. So Evo Azure helps you to achieve more than 90% test automation coverage by executing end-to-end regression tests repeatedly. Easily visualize the entire testing hierarchy with the click of a button. So define test plans, design test cases through mid-map feature. Leverage of about 1500 plus keywords and more than 100 SAP specific keywords to deliver application faster. Execute multiple scenarios simultaneously using smart scheduling and execution feature. So integrate with a plethora of SDLC and continuous integration solutions like Jira, Source Labs, ALM, TFS, Jenkins, and Qtest. So analyze reports intuitively with easy to read screenshots and videos of test execution. Enable accessibility the testing of your application. These are the some main features of the evo Azure, the automated testing tool for regression testing. Next one is bug. So bug is probably the simplest ways to automate your regression testing. All you have to do is record and replay your tests with an issue interface. How it works: so create a test scenario, start recording, just click on your website. Bug records all your interactions at a test steps. Run your test. Bug repeats all your recorded test steps. So a simpler alternative to Selenium. Easier to learn, faster creation of production ready regression tests. Doesn't require coding, good value for money. So okay, for free, if you only run automated test regression tests in your local browser for only just $49 monthly, you can use bug cloud to run all your regression tests every hour. So next, coming to Virtuoso. So Virtuoso puts end-to-end fiddling with flaky tests in your regression pack on every release by delivering tests that heal themselves. Virtuoso launches bots that dive into applications DOM and build comprehensive model of each element based on available selectors, IDs, and attributes. A machine learning algorithm is used to vary every test to run to intelligently identify any unexpected changes, meaning testers can concentrate on finding bugs or not fixing tests. Regression tests are authored in plain English using natural language programming, much the same way you could author the manual test script. This scripted approach retains all power and flexibility of coded approach, but with the speed and accessibility of the codeless tool. So here you can see cross browser or cross device. Write one test for everywhere. The fastest authoring experience. Next generation auto augmented testing tool, which is artificial intelligence, is included here. Guaranteed in sprint regression testing, out of the box integration with your CI/CD pipeline. So next, coming to Catalan. Catalan is all-in-one platform for testing automation with a large user community. It offers free and codeless solutions to automate regression testing. Since it's a ready-made framework, you can use it right away. So no complicated setup is needed. So you can quickly create automated test steps using record and playback, easily capture the test objects and maintain them in a built repository. So reuse test assets to scale up the number of automated regression tests. It also provides advanced features like built-in keywords, scripting mode, self-healing, cross-browser testing, test reporting, CI/CD integration, and more to help QA teams meet their extended testing needs when scaling up. Next, coming to DogQ. DogQ is a no-code automation testing tool and is suitable for beginners and professionals. The tool is equipped with a bunch of cutting-edge features for creating various types of tests for websites and web apps, including regression testing. The product allows users to run multiple test cases in the cloud and manage them directly through custom-built interface. The tool uses AI-based text recognition technology that works for the user automatically and provides them with 100% reliable and editable test results. Moreover, the test cases and scenarios can be run simultaneously, scheduled and edited, and then easily reviewed by non-technical team members also. So DocQ is also perfect, and you can go through these descriptions, all pricing plans and details of about DocQ. So main concept is why regression testing needed. When developer fix one bug, several new bugs are introduced. For this purpose, we are using regression testing. So you can see here regression initiated when a programmer fixes bug or adds a new code for new functionality to the system. So there can be many dependencies in the newly added and existing functionalities. So this is the quality measure to check whether new code complies with the old code, so that the unmodified code is not getting affected. Most of the time, the testing teams has a task to check and the last minute changes in the system. So in such situation, testing only affected the application area is necessary to complete the testing process on time by covering all the major system aspects. So this test is very important when there is a continuous change and improvement added to the application. The new functionality should not negatively affect the existing test code. So regression testing required to find bugs and occurred because of the change in the code. So if this testing is not done, the product might set critical issues in the live environment. So and that is indeed can also lead customer into trouble. So while testing any online website, the tester reports issue that the price of the product is not showing properly. So show lesser price and the actual price of the product, it needs to be fixed soon. So these are some examples. Okay, so one developer fixes the issues, it needs to be retested, or regression testing is also required as verification purpose. So see, these are the some points you can go through these. So types of regression testing here given below are various types of regression testing, that is unit regression, partial regression, and complete regression testing. So one by one you can go through these things. So unit regression is done during the unit testing phase, and code is testing in isolation, that is any dependencies on the unit to be tested are blocked, so that unit can be tested individually with discrepancy. So partial regression. So partial regression is done to verify that code works fine even when the changes have been done in the code, and that unit is integrated with unchanged or already existing code. And the complete regression. So complete regression is done when change in code is done on a number of modules, and also if the change is impact of change in any other module is uncertain. So how much regression testing is required? So this depends upon the scope of newly added features. So you can go through these short notes. Okay, so how the scope is working for particular applications. Okay, regression testing test cases need to be selected very carefully so that maximum functionality is covered in a minimum set of the test cases. These test cases are need to continuous improvements for newly added functionalities. So it becomes very difficult when the application scope is very huge, and there are continuous increments or patches to the systems. In such cases, selective test cases need to be executed in order to save testing cost and time. These selective test cases are picked based on the enhancements done to the system. So and the parts where it can affect the most. So what do we do in regression check? So rerun the previously conducted tests, compare the current results with previously executed results, test results. This is a continuous process performed at various stages throughout the software testing lifecycle. Best practice to conduct a regression test after sanity or smoke testing, and at the end of the functional testing for a short release. In order to conduct effective testing, a regression testing test plan should be created. The plan should outline the regression testing strategy and exit criteria. Performance testing is also part of this test to make sure that the system performance is not affected due to the changes made in the system of the components. Okay. So best practice is to run automated test cases every day in the evening, so that the regression side effects can be fixed in the next day build. So this is the way to reduce the release risk by covering almost all regression defects at an early stage, rather than the finding or fixing those at the end of the release cycle. So you can see here our regression testing techniques. So this is the diagram: reset all, regression test selection, test case prioritization, and hybrid. So these are the four testing techniques. So we can reset all means at the say name itself suggests the entire test cases in the test suite are re-executed, and then to ensure that there are no bugs, we are resetting here. So regression test selection, in this method test cases are selected from the test suite to be re-executed, and the test cases are divided into many different categories, two categories. One is reusable test cases and another is obsolete test cases. The reusable test cases can be used future regression cycles, whereas obsolete ones are not used in the upcoming regression cycles. So third one is test case prioritization. So here the test cases with high priority are executed first rather than that ones with medium and low priority. The priority of test case depends on the its criticality. Okay, so and impact on the product and also on the functionality of the product which is used more often. Then coming to hybrid. So hybrid technique is a combination of free regression test selection and test case prioritization. So rather than the selecting the entire test suite, select only the test cases which are re-executed depending on the priority. So how to select a regression test suite? So most of the bugs found in the production environment occur because of the changes done or bug fixed at the 11th hour. Okay, so changes done in a later stage. The bug fix at the last stage might create other issues, bugs in the product. So that's why regression checking is very important before releasing a product. So below is a list of test cases that can be used for performing this test. So functionalities that are frequently used, and test cases that cover the module where the changes have been made. Complete complex test cases, integration test cases that include all the major components, test cases for the core functionality or features of the product. Priority 1 and priority 2 test cases should be included. Test cases of frequently failed or recent testing defects where the were found for the same. So how to perform regression testing? Now that we have established what regression means, and it is apparent that it is testing also. Simply repeating the one specific situation for the specific reason. Therefore, we can safely derive that the same method applied for the testing in the first place can be applied to these two. So therefore, if testing can be done manually, then regression testing can also done too. So the use of tool is not necessary. However, as time goes on, applications get piled and on more and more functionalities, which keeps increasing of the scope of regression. So to make most of the time, the this testing is often automated. So given below are various steps involved in performing this testing. So prepare a test suite for regression considering the points mentioned. How to select regression suite. Automate all the test cases in the test suite. Update the regression suite whenever it is required, like if any defect which is not covered in the test case found. And a test case for same should be updated in the test suite so that the testing is not missed for the next time. So the regression test suite should be managed properly by continuously updating test cases. Execute the regression test cases whenever there is a required in the code. So the bug is fixed, new functionality is added, and enhancements to existing functionality is done, etc. Creating a test execution report which includes the pass-fail status of executed test cases. So these are the important concepts, practical oriented concepts about regression testing in depth. So this will be going to help you for people for in interviews to crack the interviews. So in my next video, I'll be with another testing in depth. Okay, so thanks for watching this, friends, and bye bye. Have a nice day. Take care.